podcast. It comes out once a week, and this is just a small little introduction video into the podcast. So, down below in the description of each episode, you can go to my Linktree and find links to everything connected to me. This podcast is available on YouTube, which you're watching it on right now, and also on Spotify. But yeah, that is just a small introduction into this podcast and everything that goes along with it. Hello, welcome to another podcast episode. Still part of the bulk record. My arms feel sore for some reason. So, in this episode, I'll talk about the first show back in Ireland after coming back from Vienna. Now, at this stage, this is, I don't know, a couple of weeks. TV and yeah, it's been a few weeks at this stage that this happened but it was a show formerly run by Malinda, but then he moved to Vienna, and now two great comics, John O'Keefe and Coleman Haynes, are running it, and the night has been renamed to Trial By Laughter. I've talked about it before. I've done a couple of these at this stage, but this particular one, the I had there was a crowd of like young enough people, like between 23 and 27. For the people thinking that 27 is not that young, I'm 33, so to me it is. I'm older. Respect your elders. But what happened was there was so I think five guys all together to work for some like a finance company in Dublin or some shit, and because I arrived at the show around nearly 9 o'clock, so the show had like a few comics had gone on, but I had actually watched a couple of comedians. I think I got to see two comics before the break. I was on after the break. Yeah, it was second after the break. From, if my memory serves correct, but they just kept like talk. One of the guys is very drunk, and they just kept talking. So when it came my turn to go on stage, I went up straight away and I said, "Look, when I'm on stage, you don't talk. Shut the fuck up." And that worked for about a minute and a half because it was all jokes that I had written from Vienna. It's just like, look, I went on holidays to Vienna and this happened. To be basically, we told things about bombing at the comedy show, how things were in Vienna when I was there, stuff like that. And I told, I told a joke, and your man interrupted again. And I was like, "What did I tell you?" I was like, I was like, "What the hell do I have to do to like shut you up? To, like, do I have to hit you or what?" Like, cause I was wearing jeans. Like, "I'll take off my belt. I'll hit you." I was like, "What?" It's just, it was. It kept interrupting. I wasn't even good stuff. Like, even when. And as well, what I enjoyed about that gig was the microphone volume was turned up really. It was higher than usual, so like your voice was really really amplified. You could shout, and it was because the room was set up. It's I don't know if I ever posted clips of me ever performing there in on Instagram. I actually have like that entire set I've recorded, so I do have that footage. It is very very fun. I do go off on your man 3 times, and then one particular joke he said, what that I told the joke, and he was like, "Oh, that wasn't funny," and I was like, "What?" It was like, "Who are you?" Because it was, to me, it was kind of random, because it was like, "Who is this dude who thinks he's this great comedian?" It was just so much fun, and when I got off stage, like the other comedians who were there was like, "Oh, thank God you said something," because like I usually don't engage with hecklers because it can go very, very bad sometimes. But depending on what the situation is, it's usually the interruptions. I think the best way I can describe it is like when it comes to stuff like that, I take no prisoners. I'm very brutal and honest, and I'll cut them down as quickly as they open their mouth, because I've been doing stand for nearly 6 years at this stage. I ain't taking no shit on stage, and especially when the microphone volume is that loud. I'm like, look, I'm going to be louder than you, no matter what you say. So it's like it's really is no point doing this shit. But he continued doing it, and he paid the price for it. And after the show, they left very abruptly, and there was no more engagement after that. So that's that. But it was I suppose enjoyable. I did like I the some of the jokes weren't didn't hit us as good as I thought that would, but that's why we do new material nights and open mics so we can hone that stuff. But and also it was very brand new. I also just wrote it that day, but overall it was a very fun gig. Engaging with the audience like that, I got like I said, I recorded. Yeah, you could like. I have debating whether or not to throw it up on YouTube. Not on YouTube, on my Instagram page. Alex George Comedy on Instagram if you want to check it out. But it is very funny. But there's an awful lot of um, Heckler shit online already, so I might just leave it in the archives for a while. See, but it is. I've rewatched the footage a couple of times. It's to me, it's funny because it's just like the persistent getting, especially like everything was against this person. The fact that the microphone volume, and every time he heckled and I had a comeback, it's just like the crowd just uproared. It was like he brought great energy to the room. Because if you know what you're doing, you can control this sort of situation. And as well, like, if you watch my Vienna video a couple of weeks back, you'll note that, like, a lot of Austrians were rude to me when I was over there. So that was very annoying. But in saying that as well, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and it was just like when I was ending the show, I was like, some people in the crowd were very good, and some were not, and I looked at the people that were sitting there. The dude who kept interrupting, and it was just like it tied in really well because like the roots jokes, I just kept doing the callbacks to them because they were literally sitting in front of me as well. So it was like it was just it was very good. Another stupid thing, it's you always get in your head. It's always the thing of the people that are not laughing because like when I was when I do stand up, I try not to look in one particular direction. I try and scan the room and so on, so I kind of look this way because the room is split. There's like a massive pillar in the kind of, I suppose, towards the back, but that's where all the comics sit anyway, so it's not a problem really. It's rarely that like audience members aren't sitting there because that's the area where comedians sit. So you have audiences either side of you, like the black sheep room, kind of. Um, I don't know if I ever posted clips of that room ever online, but that's the way it's split up. So you basically just pivot and look to the other side of the room. So when I was reviewing the footage, like I've said, I've rewatched it a couple of times because it's funny, and I noticed one woman who was sitting at the front because the guy behind her kept like he was having a good time laughing, but I never because I was kind of like quickly scanning. She was like pretty much twirling her hair on her phone. She wasn't even paying attention. I don't think I seen her laugh one time, and like I said, it was a pretty good show. I enjoyed the heckler takedowns, but it was just like that one person not paying attention. You're like, fuck, why? It just pissed me off. It was just that one fucking thing. It's like that time we did Crash and Burn. There was a woman in the audience who had her arms like this the entire night, and then while everyone was heading out, because the comedians usually stand towards the back at Chenet, because it's in the basement. There's only one entrance, one exit. And as she was walking by, she said, "Oh my God, you were so great today, and you too." And she said that to me. I was like, "You had your arms folded the entire time," because everybody in there, it was a good audience size, about 30, 40 people. I put just one fucking person. Forever ruins your night. It'll always stick in the back of your head forever. But yeah, even now that I'm talking about, this happened a while ago. So I don't know. It's overall great night. Glad it went well because, like I said, hecklers can go bad sometimes, but if you are experienced and prepared and methodical in the execution, which that was that pow pow pow. That was rapid fire machine gunning shit. Um, Definitely brought the A game that night. It was very good. Um, Stop saying why do I keep saying I'm sick. I think I'm some sort of cold or something right now. But again, stop saying why If I was any good at sound editing, every time I said that, I would add another thing like or like the old Batman things, kapow, kachish. Probably get sued though by Warner Brothers. That is, I think, really what I wanted to discuss for this episode. There's one more week of bulk recording, and then there'll be some new stuff. You're getting about, at this stage, a month of content, give or take. So that'll probably bring you into, I would say, the end of April, beginning of May. So at this stage, hopefully, I would have done the Russian language gigs. So we'll talk about that in the future. It's been moved to a different venue as well. It's been held at the Halfpenny now, St. McGowan's, which is good because, like I said, Halfpenny is where I started doing comedy nearly 6 years ago. So it's nice that it's going to be there because I'll can refer back to it. And that is all. But yeah, so as per usual, links down below to everyone's content, including mine and my friends. But yeah, so I am going to finish by saying thank you. As per usual, all links down below, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.